Case Analysis Part 2, Critical Issues and Situation Analysis. This video will discuss the first link in your chain of case analysis, the critical issues and situation analysis. First, I'll define critical issues and look at two types, critical opportunities and critical threats. Then I'll cover how to use internal and external analyses to identify critical issues. It is really important you do this section well, because if you don't effectively identify the critical issue, then there is no way your report will be useful to a business person. So what is a critical issue? Well, there's two kinds. You can have critical threats or critical opportunities. Critical threats are problems that, if not addressed, may cause the company to go out of business or suffer catastrophic losses. Oftentimes, critical threats occur when threats attack a company at its weaknesses. These are not minor annoyances. They are realistic threats to survival. Psst, I've got a hint for you. Shh! Listen up. If you think you've identified a critical threat, stop. Take a moment and ask yourself, is what I've discovered a symptom of a problem, or is it a cause of a problem? A symptom is never a critical issue. The cause of the symptom is. Let me give you an example. You're given a company's financial statements. In the last year, new competitors have entered the area, and as a result, the company is now losing money. Is the critical issue the fact that the company is losing money? Think about it. I'll wait. No, losing money is a symptom. Yeah, it sucks, but it's just a symptom. In order to fix it, you must understand why the company is losing money. So why is this company losing money? Well, maybe it's because new competitors have arrived and they're stealing customers. So increased competition may be the critical threat. Okay, let's talk critical opportunities. Critical opportunities occur when a company's strengths allow it to capture a market opportunity. Now, we're not talking about minor increases to profits. Oh no, we're talking about opening up brand new business lines, creating new markets, or dominating old ones. This is a quantum leap in profits, not a minor one. Now remember, there must be a link between a company's strength and a market opportunity. If there is demand for a product, but the company does not have the ability to produce the product, then there is no critical opportunity. Likewise, if a company can make a really cool gadget, it has great strength in making that gadget, nobody else can make that gadget as good as your company, but no one wants to buy it, again, there is no critical opportunity. A company's strength must align with a market opportunity. In other words, the company must have a competitive advantage at delivering something that customers want to pay for. All right, so identifying critical issues is essential, because if you haven't identified the critical issue, you can't solve the problem if you don't know what the critical issues are. So how do you identify critical issues? Well, it's one part internal analysis, one part external analysis, and one part judgment. So, with regards to internal analysis, which internal analyses should you use? Simple answer is all of them. This includes looking at the company's current goals, assessing their current performance, performing a financial analysis. This includes a financial ratio analysis, a financial vertical analysis, and a financial horizontal analysis. Perform a value chain analysis. Perform a VRIO analysis and a BCG matrix of their products. Do all these things. Add other types of analyses if you know of others. Alright, now stop. Wait a second. I just threw a whole bunch of jargon at you. Do you actually know what any of these items are? Since this is a senior level business course, I'm kind of assuming that you do, or at least most of them are familiar. If you don't, pause this video and Google whatever you're unsure of. It's important that you understand these analyses because I'm going to expect that you're doing them. Okay, so you've just done this huge internal analysis. You've gotten all this information. Now what? Well, now you start identifying strengths and weaknesses of the company. Strengths are those things the company does well, things that might give them a competitive advantage. Weaknesses are things they do poorly, things that might undermine their competitive advantage. You'll end up with a pretty big list of strengths and weaknesses. Spend a moment thinking about them. Are there 2 or 3 strengths, 2 or 3 weaknesses that are really big, that are maybe more important than the others? Determining this will require a little bit of judgment on your part. Okay, time for your external analysis. So what are these external analyses? Well, to start, perform a competitor analysis. Don't know how to do that? Well, you remember that internal analysis you just did? Do as many of those analyses as you can, but now do them on your competitors to determine their strengths and weaknesses. In addition, analyze your customers. Segment your customer market. Identify customer needs, wants, price sensitivity, buying habits for each segment. Now figure out which segment your company is best able to target. Is your company targeting that segment? If not, maybe that's a problem. Then, figure out which segment each of your competitors is targeting. Which competitors are going after the segment you want? Those are the guys you need to deal with. Perform a pest analysis. Do a Porter's 5 forces analysis. Look at the life cycle of the product or industry your company is in. What are the key things companies must do to survive and thrive? Is your company doing them? From your external analysis, determine what opportunities and threats exist for your company. As before, you'll probably have a lot of them. Consider each carefully and identify your top 2 or 3 opportunities and threats. Alright, we're getting close to the end here. Next, you're going to want to set up a table like this. List out your important strengths and weaknesses along one axis, and your important opportunities and threats along another. Now look at this box here. Identify opportunities that your company's strengths will allow you to capture. If the opportunity is big enough and your strength is strong enough, you might have a critical opportunity here. Now look at this box. Identify threats that hit you in your company's weak spot. If the threat is dangerous enough and your weakness is weak enough, this could be a critical threat. Alright, so you have a list of possible critical opportunities and possible critical threats. Have a look at them and remember the definitions I provided for you earlier. A critical opportunity is an opportunity you have the strength to capture that can provide a quantum leap in profits. A critical threat is a threat hitting your weakness that can cripple your competitiveness, if not put you out of business. With those definitions in mind, identify what you believe are the critical opportunities and/or the critical threats of the case. There you go. You've done it. You've identified your critical issues. It is a lot of work, but it is essential that you do this first. If you don't know what the critical issues are, nothing else in your report matters. Everything else in your report will now focus on these critical issues. The job of your report is to fix these critical issues, to resolve them. You must put time at the start to identify critical issues. In your report, you list the critical issues you identify just as bullet points. In your situation analysis, you present your work that led you to the conclusion they were indeed the critical issues. Okay, so in this video, we covered the definition of critical issues, which includes critical opportunities and critical threats. I showed you how to identify strengths and weaknesses of your company through an internal analysis. I also showed you how to identify opportunities and threats through your external analysis. I then showed you how to bring these together to allow you to identify critical issues. The next video will cover the second link in your chain, your decision criteria.